Hello, Agnes. How are you? Thank you very much for giving me this interview today. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm a bit nervous because actually I never had this kind of interview, so it's going to be my first time. So,
Okay.
so apologies in advance if I'm
It's
making
not,
any mistakes, but yes,
you
nervous.
don't.
This is the word that describes my feelings right now.
Don't worry, don't worry. You can relax. It's the third interview I'm making, and it will be
Okay.
fine. We will just chat like we are friends
Yes.
from our life. It's fine. It's not a problem. We have to say two things first to my audience. The first one is that I recently found out you speak Spanish, but we arrange
Yes.
we
That's
arrange on doing
correct.
this interview in English. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's better for the community. And the second one is that we have to, of course, be grateful to Cecilia. Cecilia is another contact I have on Twitter that she made possible that we have this interview. She's also Hungarian, I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chilla. Yeah, she's
yeah,
also
Chile.
a Crypto.com ambassador. Yeah.
Yeah, also a
Yes,
crypto.
and she's
So
very active in Twitter and in the community as well. And she's a
exactly.
great girl. I know her also from, personally.
So the audience know from where we are connecting, basically from Twitter, and it was the same for all the other ambassadors, all the other validators. We always connect through Twitter. It's a very important tool and for crypto too. So I have some questions for today. We go through the questions. Is will be very easy. Relax. it will be
Yes,
fine.
yes, I will.
So Agnes, tell us a little bit, just a little bit about yourself, please, if you can.
Yeah, so my name is Ágnes. Actually, I live in Hungary, so I'm
Mhm.
Hungarian, and I'm working in the field of HR. I'm a project manager, but I'm also a translator and interpreter, a Spanish-Hungarian translator and interpreter. So this is the reason why the whole Spanish connection came up.
Mhm.
Where I studied originally international relations, economics, and of course the translation. What I
Nice.
can say about myself that I consider myself a very curious and open-minded person. This is
Mhm.
probably what led me to crypto.
Yes.
So yeah, I think
Okay, so you
that's
you 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 study a lot. You have your career.
yeah.
But as you are an open-minded person, that probably, as you said, is important for this because yeah, we are talking about crypto in this interview.
Yes, exactly. And probably the economic background, as I also
Also,
studied
yeah.
economics. So it is easier to get involved in crypto if you know like the basics of economics
Mhm.
or if you understand and you're not coming from a totally different field.
Very nice, very nice, very yeah, very interesting. We see all the connections. Um, so when do you get involved in crypto and why?
Well, it was in um, mm, 2021, so actually last year January,
Mhm.
and I just bought Bitcoin in Revolut. So it wasn't
Okay.
really like a crypto platform, but actually I just downloaded the Revolut application because I didn't want to use banks anymore. So and then I saw
Mhm.
that okay, you can buy cryptocurrencies. But the thing is that actually I got to know Bitcoin in 2013,
Mhm.
but then I was not really I really didn't know anything about it, and what
Yeah.
everything that you could read in the mainstream media or from friends that this is a Ponzi, it doesn't worth anything. So I didn't care about Bitcoin anymore. But that was the first time when I
You heard about it
when I
in
got
2000.
when I heard about it. When I got involved, actually it was last year, but then it was very quick and very intense. So I started to watch the YouTubers, watch several to check out the several platforms. I registered to exchanges. So when because I mean one reason was that I wanted to earn money, as everyone I guess.
Yes.
I was interested in this whole cryptocurrency topic, like because it was very still something very new, something what attracted me, and also as for the interest. The financial freedom, as I told you, that I was also checking like how to get rid of the banks, maybe not
Mhm.
forever, because of course I still receive my salary to my bank account,
I see. I see.
But a little bit distancing myself from the traditional financial system, and I think I've been always kind of advocate for social issues and this type of thing. So probably that's why also the financial part came into the picture.
So yeah, Revolut actually is an interesting case as a company because they offer you this application on the phone, which is free. They offer you a bank account, but they also, as you said, give you exposition to buy cryptocurrencies.
Yes,
and
exactly.
if you go to any bank in any country in Europe, I guess you cannot buy Bitcoin directly. Of course not.
No, not at all.
So it's very interesting what they did, but of course they yeah, you have in your portfolio the reflection of the price, but of course you don't have a wallet, I think, in Revolut.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I went to other platforms and opened wallet. Of course I had to read all of this. I didn't know anyone, and among friends and family, people around me, they didn't know, they didn't care about this, so I really had to invent everything
So
like from zero.
You had to study from zero, start to learn, start to follow YouTubers,
Yes.
start to read, like basically a lot of us, but
yeah, like everyone, I think everyone, maybe we can see many examples that people are just jump in the middle. Okay, I will buy then, and tomorrow I will have my luxury car in the garage. But basically, if you want to make it right, and if you want to feel secure in the crypto world, you have to get to know this word, I think. But I think it's everywhere. So if you don't know something, you're afraid. For example, I cannot drive, and I'm completely afraid of the roads, like all these cars, and everyone is telling me that, oh my God, it's nothing. You just sit in the car and you drive. It is easy, and I'm still afraid because I don't know that. I have never driven, and I don't know. I have this type of fear of the roads, but it's like, I think it's everywhere the same, that you have to know the words around you, and you have to know what you are into, and you can do your job good if you know what you are doing. And it's the same in crypto, even though there is no exam or something, but there is, because if you can but you can fail, right? So if you, for example, you forget your private keys, you can't access to your wallet, or if something gets stolen because you're negligent by security, this is when you fail on the exam, right? So that's why you have to learn, you have to study, right?
And why is so important education in crypto? And one of the reasons I opened my YouTube channel was to try what I learned, and what, as you see, you also learn your part. But what I try to do is, I'm trying to do is to try to at least show what I learned, and then the people can decide if they take this and amplify it, keep on studying, keep on reading, keep on, on learning. But I think education in crypto is, I would say, the number one thing, the most important thing, because nobody, imagine, they don't teach in schools about fiat money.
Not at all.
Imagine if they will teach someday about crypto. It will never happen. I guess it will never happen. So it's very, very important, I think, what you said about you studying, and of course, education. And here comes, I connect this with the third question. And of course, you're a woman, and are you aware you are a minority investing in this asset? What do you think about this?
Actually, I wasn't aware of it until I wasn't told that, come on, there are only just few women in this crypto field. But well, I was thinking a lot, and even speaking with the community members, I can just think of historical reasons that women were not so involved in finances, in financial decision making. I mean, women even couldn't vote, right? So for long times, and they didn't have their own income. So this is probably one of the reasons that if you don't have your own money, you can't handle that. And probably your husband didn't allow that, or or it wasn't even a question, right? During those times. So it was always the gentleman's business. So, and still today you can see only these elderly men in suits like Warren Buffett, like
Yeah.
speaking about investing, but you can never see a woman, right? So
Exactly.
so this is
Well,
crazy.
we have Cathy Woods. You know Cathy Woods?
Yeah, sure, yeah, that's correct. But
but
she's
but
also,
but it's
let's say,
only one that I know.
minority in
Yeah, that's
yeah,
exactly. It's
only
only
one.
one, and she
Yeah,
also
Cathy Woods, right?
advocates, on Bitcoin. Very, she's a bull on Bitcoin.
Yeah,
But you
yeah,
see, it's a minority. If you go to Yahoo Finance to say something, you go to Bloomberg, it's a men. Investing is basically, as you said, a world of men, and
exactly. I think so. It's a word of man, and this is probably one of the reason, even in the Facebook group, in the Telegram group. So basically, the community members, most of them are men. So there are really less
we need more
women on
woman in.
that.
We need more woman. We need more woman,
Yes,
more
I
woman in
think
crypto.
so. Because
Yeah.
actually crypto has a wide range of services, so you can do basically a lot of things in crypto. So you don't need to go like, I don't know, like Warren Buffett, like investing everything, or you don't need to go on leverage trading and like, I don't know, sitting like in the movies, right?
Yes.
Like Michael Douglas. I don't remember the name of this movie, but you remember this.
Wall Street.
Yeah, the Wall Street. Well, when Michael Douglas is like this big investor, like doing
Exactly.
trading all the time. So you don't have to be that. For example, what you mentioned in your question, that you can participate in education, or you can just simply like get involved, or I don't know, like NFTs or metaverse. So there are a lot of opportunities also for women. And it's maybe also the question of the interest that I don't know, maybe less women are interested in finances. And what you mentioned, especially that the financial education is zero. I think it's not, probably it's in all world, but in Hungary it's also zero.
Yeah.
So you never learn in school how to pay taxes, what finances mean, how
schools, schools, universities, they don't. You can go to the best university in the world. They will not teach you what money is, that you can invest money, that you can put money to work. They don't teach nothing of this. It's like a kept secret for the 1%. And
exactly.
And crypto in a way, and this happened a lot with millennials, with young people, in a way open the world of investing to a lot of young people. But still, and I'm fixing in this point, we can see and we agree that there are very few women in this. And this is connecting to the fourth question, which is, why do you think there's so few women discussing? We already talked a little bit about it, right? But discussing, getting involved, investing, it's like there's a lack of interest in general. This is what I feel.
Yeah, I feel more or less the same, lack of interest, maybe the risk taking. It's a bit different with women, so they go more, or we go more for secure things in life. We're looking more for security than men, right? So I would also explain with this risk, and also the lack of knowledge, right? That if we see worldwide, even really small amount of people are investing in crypto, right? So if we just see men and women, but
it's a good point. I didn't thought about it, that this also is happening in the financial, in the normal investing in the financial world, in the stock market, and it's also as you said.
Or if you see, I don't know, New York Stock Exchange, you see all these videos, it is always men there. And I remember, like, for example, okay, just like a women's topic, like when in the Sex and the City, Carrie Bradshaw went to the New York Stock Exchange. He went there just, I don't know, just to open the stock market. So she didn't go there to participate, and there were no women at all. So this is basically also that like the general picture of of a woman is not like fighting in the field of investments, trading, and stock market. So this is probably a man's playground. It has always been, and I hope feminists will not kill me with this. I also consider myself as a feminist, but still I think that we have our differences. But basically, these are the two things that are why women are not so involved in finances. For example, in Hungary, there is a YouTuber, and she speaks about finances in a very understandable way. So so there are some, but of course there are less women in that. And I don't also go for this risky trading, man's word. So so like personally, I'm trying to get involved where I feel secure, where I know what would be the outcome, right? So
probably
basically,
probably in the future what will happen is, first of all, is now you can do everything from a phone. You don't, from your phone you can access your portfolio, you can invest, you can you can do staking, you can do buy NFTs, you can do a lot of things from your phone. You probably don't have to go full risk with stuff. Probably you need to know what is your risk level that you can tolerate. And,
yes, exactly.
And probably in the future, because now we will talk about crypto.com, of course. I think the mission also of a company like crypto.com, it's also to show to the everyday people, and we put inside woman too, that there's nothing wrong about this. It's just a different monetary asset, and it's a way of investing your money, and this is here to stay. And so I have faith, to be honest with you, in the future. But today, the present day, is very important to be doing this interview, because I wanted to interview a woman in crypto, And
Thank you.
So thank you again. And now we connect
Thank
with
you.
the.
Thank you. And just let me tell you another thing. I think why it is also for women important, it just came to my mind. Like, for example, as far as I remember, it was an initiative like a couple of years ago, or maybe 20 years ago, I'm not sure, in Brazil, in South America, that the banks gave microloans to women, like to start their or enterprise or something, because even like in banks said that women can handle finances very good. I mean, if you just think on families, right?
Yes,
like if you have a family, that's usually the usually is the woman is the chancellor, right? So so but this is also something like when they started this in Brazil, I was so happy that they gave opportunities to women, and also in companies. There are more and more women in this field, and it doesn't mean that we have to compete with men. Of course not. Women can do the things. I mean, in a feminine way, right? And it's a totally different approach, and that's why I think the two can be very much complemented. That maybe women will have a bigger role in crypto. Okay, they won't be the best leverage traders, for I guess, or like these men going to the
or maybe yes,
stock
you don't know, right?
or
We will
maybe
see.
yes, we never know. But still, probably also women will, if we see like the gender, that women will also play a crucial role.
Because it
in
will
this.
be also very interesting to see, now that you mentioned this, since women, in a way, I think they have a different view regarding risk. What will happen with all these kind of assets that have high leverage, what will happen with this world? Maybe in a way, all these type of instruments, they need the risk of men. You see what I mean? So and this is why they kept it only for men. I don't know, probably, but okay.
No, we are just assuming here.
we are assuming. Nobody, please, nobody get offended on the other side. From all the companies we have now on crypto, because we know now we have a lot of companies in crypto, and we can see your background of crypto.com, and people already knows you're an ambassador of Crypto.com. Why
Yes.
you choose to Crypto.com? You know?
Like the company or being an
Yes.
ambassador?
No. Why? Yes.
Both.
Why you choose both things? Why you chose Crypto.com probably to do some of your investments, I guess, and then to
Yeah.
become an ambassador.
Yeah, actually, I saw the advertisement, and they seemed to me very professional. I was really at the phase of like where to put my money, where to invest, and I saw the advertisement, and that of course I checked the website, I checked the background, and I saw YouTubers and other platforms speaking about the crypto.com, and I didn't find a negative thing. I mean, of course there was, but there are always people who say negative things about
Of
anything.
course. Of
But
course.
of course, I went really in kind of trustful sources, right? So to see, and it was actually easy to handle because I just downloaded the app. I made uh, um, I made the transfer from my bank account, I mean from the Revolut, and the money was there, so I could buy the crypto. So it seemed also very easy for me. I mean, as a beginner, right? And just let me tell you one thing. Like since that, for instance, that the crypto.com app exchange and everything is also available in a lot of languages because we translated it into Hungarian as well. So I think it is also very important that that people who don't speak the language, we touched with you this topic, right?
Yeah.
That the language, right? That like Spanish community prefers more Spanish content, and also Hungarian community like more the Hungarian content. So and then they had and the other thing, what was very important for me, that that crypto.com had already a community in Facebook and in Telegram, so you could always ask if there was something, and there were no stupid questions, and the ambassadors always were very helpful, and if they couldn't help you, then okay, they redirected you to the support, but even the support was very friendly. So I had, let's say, good examples on that, and I saw that they do a lot on the security, on the safety and security. I think it is also very important that where you put the money, it has to be safe. So if
Of
once
course.
we can see all these crashes every day, like stolen money, I don't know, like something was hacked, and I think it's very important to also choose a platform where you can feel that this is something secure. And right now with the DeFi wallet, I think we can it's even better because it's not in the exchange, it's not on the stock exchange, the assets, your money, but it's in your wallet. And as an ambassador, yes, you have the keys. And now what we can experience in the market, I think it is becoming even more important, that you have the keys. So this is something that I was always, oh my God, I don't care, like what can happen. I mean, but yeah, there can a lot of things can happen. It's probably it's better if you have the keys.
I have some thoughts, mixed thoughts about this, because of course I will always defend decentralization, the DeFi wallet and everything, but also there's this narrative now going on that take your crypto out of exchanges, right? Take your crypto out of CeFi. And this is actually hurting a lot these companies. And Crypto.com needs, in fact, they need that people deposits assets in the centralized also application. They need also to have liquidity there to be able to provide all the services they provide. So there's now this narrative from important crypto people, in Twitter and everywhere in YouTube. And the thing is, well, then we need to decide, right? So you trust the company, let's say you trust Crypto.com, and you accept the fact that you want mass adoption, right? And to have mass adoption, the centralized exchange will have to exist. So I'm not saying I even took out my CRO and put it on the DeFi wallet because, okay, I made a video about this. only because basically I wasn't using all the benefits of the card. So I prefer to move the CRO to the DeFi wallet to have a 12% APR in my CRO. But I understand people moving everything, but I still think it's important to, if you trust the company, probably not take everything out. You know, have a little balance, probably 80% if you want in DeFi, and leave, I don't know, probably a small stake on something, or because in this way you help the company. Because I'm telling you, there's this narrative where they are saying take everything out of exchanges, and this is hurting the space a lot. And so I don't know if
I get it.
So I wouldn't say to anybody, I wouldn't point the finger. You took everything out. I will never say this. What I'm saying is, if you probably you invested money probably that you don't really need, or you are willing to manage the risk, then if you are comfortable with it and you think the company will survive, I just will say to these people, you know, there's no rush, or take a part probably out of it, but you need to know that by leaving it there, you are trusting the company and you are helping the company. Because if everyone, it's like a bank, you know, if everyone goes to the bank and take the money out, you see, everyone.
Yeah, sure. Yes, you have. Yeah. So you're completely right. Yes, then, but we have to choose like which companies to trust, right?
Exactly,
because
exactly.
There's been a lot of trust issues, and for example, in case of crypto.com, okay, I'm not an expert or something, but I don't know. I don't want to take out like my funds from the exchange or from the app. So not at all, but maybe in some cases I would revise that, and maybe if we are in a bull run, then we tend to be less careful.
You go. People will go inside the app and lock their Bitcoin for 3 months. In a bull run, they don't care.
Greedy, and we have to see probably like what other platforms are offering. Are they really valid in this market situation? Like, I don't know, like if I get, I don't know, like 10% on my Ethereum, is it sustainable? Can it be really done? How they do that? So this is when, for example, when crypto.com also cut back the card benefits and stuff like that. Probably they have already seen what was coming, right? So they made the kind of rationalization on that. Okay, I'm not an expert. I might say I don't know.
I'm not an expert either, but I think like you. I think Crypto.com saw what was coming, and they just opened the umbrella. But
this is what we talk about. It's a risk management that we have to, and I think it is very very difficult for the individual. That usually at a company or at a bank, you have a group of people who dedicate on investing, right? So there are all these people who studied economics, who studied investing, risk management, whatsoever, and this group of people are handling the investment of this entity, and you do it alone with your own money. So
exactly,
I think it is also a big applause for all of us
who are
doing it. And of course, it requires a lot of research and a lot of dedication, and that's why I was happy that I found also the crypto.com Telegram group, because we have there really good conversations. So I would also encourage the Hungarian members, or Hungarian crypto community members, or anyone who is just interested in crypto, just join or a Telegram group, because we have also very interesting discussion, other topics, not only crypto.com. So so that's why actually why I also joined the team. Actually, the community manager, TB, asked me to join, so I wasn't volunteering. I was like, I don't know. I was there, I was active, but I didn't think of being an ambassador until he asked me to join, and then I said, okay, why not? I really didn't hesitate much, and basically I'm still doing what I did before, so reading and also helping others, so also with our experience, and if there are language barriers, for example, if someone doesn't speak English.
And you also you are actively translating for the company.
Yeah, as a freelancer, yes. Yes, so it means that we are translating the crypto.com products. So so for instance, the app, the exchange is all available in Hungarian language. So it is good for the people who doesn't speak. It's also available in Spanish, but of course you know that. But I think it's good for the people who doesn't speak the language.
But it's good to see that you open the application. In your case, you put it in Hungarian, and I brought that. I did that translation.
Yeah, it's a good thing as well.
It's a good feeling.
That's why I'm telling you, like I can also get involved into many ways into crypto. Like I'm translating in crypto, I'm writing in crypto, and everyone can find.
And one thing lead to the other. You don't know, right? First you went into the Telegram group, and then you became the ambassador, and then you are doing translations, and you don't know what will be next.
Yeah, and then someone asked me to do an interview, for instance.
Exactly. Then someone asked you to do an interview. Here you are, amazing.
So I think that's why it's a very good community, and I think crypto.com has really a good I don't know what other countries, probably the same, but the Hungarian community is very, very, very active. And the ambassadors are very active, all of us.
So Ágnes, as we know now, you live in Hungary, and I've been to Hungary. I've been to, well, of course, I've been to the capital, right, to Budapest. And
what did you like the most?
The bridges.
The bridges, and I have to, they are beautiful.
And I have to say the woman too. I'm sorry.
That's a compliment.
Actually, if you go to my channel and you see the banner of my channel, is a bridge in that trip I made to.
I will check it.
Yeah. But I mean, I was amazed by the amount of bridges. Very famous city. I mean,
next time you come, you should let us know so we can organize a crypto gathering somewhere.
Yeah. Now we will talk about the Bitcoin bar and everything. Now we will talk. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's the most interesting part.
Yes. So, do you know how Hungary treats crypto? How it will defines the asset? Do you know this regarding taxes and all this?
Yeah, well, Hungary has reduced tax on cryptocurrency profits to 15%. I think it was last year in May, if I'm not mistaken. So it means that you basically have to pay after your profit, after you have changed it back to the national currency, 15% of all profits. So they see the whole cryptocurrency thing as a black box. That's what the government says, as far as I remember. So what happens inside, nobody cares about it. So what are the transactions you are making, but what they care, like what comes out, you have to do the taxation on that. This is what I know on cryptocurrency. Usually the government or authorities, they don't really speak about cryptocurrency. So this is basically the same as in every European country, and we are more bound to the EU regulations. So there's been a new EU regulation. They were discussing on cryptocurrencies. So probably these will be the regulations also applied in Hungary.
Yeah, because 15% on, I guess, on your
15.
capital gain, on your capital gains, right? I think it's good.
Yeah, on the capital gains. Yeah.
Here in Luxembourg, where I live, Luxembourg treats crypto assets like intangible digital assets. So basically, you will pay capital gains as if you sell stocks. So if you sell your crypto, I think before 6 months, here you pay 50%
Oh my God.
on capital gain. So let's
then
say
the Hungarian legislation is not so bad. Yeah, that's what
actually, I think I will move to Hungary.
Yeah,
it's much better. I mean, it's much. But I know
Hungary will be a crypto heaven.
Yeah,
maybe there are other things that are not so good here, but probably in the crypto regulation, I would say it is a very advanced. And the good thing that they that when they introduced this regulation, they had a lot of discussion with experts on taxation, with people who were already in the crypto market. So
Nice.
this is the good thing, that they didn't make a decision, I don't know, without crypto people. So even crypto experts were involved as
This
an
is very
outcome of
important,
this
huh?
legislation. So I think this
Yeah.
legislation is very good.
You know, in the European Union, Portugal is like the heaven for crypto, because I think they don't even have capital gains on cryptos, but there's a lot of pressure to change this, of course, because you are losing a lot of money.
Sure,
It's
sure.
a lot of taxes that the country is not recovering, you see.
Yeah,
But
before in Hungary, it was also very difficult, because you had to pay, I think it was like 20 something, like 27%. They came from several taxes. I don't want to bore you with that, because it's a quite complicated thing. But the thing is that the people saw that it was really much, like paying almost 30% of your capital gains. It's a bit much, and probably that was one of the motivation, one of the motives of the government to make it like legal,
yeah, more
or
accessible and legal,
more
and
accessible, and even like to make people to pay those taxes. Because if you think like, okay, 15% is not, it's not such a big deal, and if you don't have to, I don't know, like list all your transactions. I don't know, I heard in some countries that you have to pay taxes after all your transactions, and after a while you don't even remember of all your transactions.
yeah,
And
you
some
have to.
people don't have it in an Excel. So I think the regulation in Hungary, it's very nice. So it took effect last year, but still we see what's going to happen. And for instance, Chilla, she's an expert on taxation, the other ambassador. So if we have any questions regarding the taxation, she knows all the answers. So
Okay,
it
good
is
to
also
know. Good to know.
good in the ambassador team that everyone has skills that they can contribute to the community, because it's always
Nice.
difficult to find a taxation expert on crypto, because it's
Oh, yeah.
it's a very new field. So yeah.
Good. And there in Hungary, you see, in general, people is involved in crypto. Is a country that you think is going towards the cryptocurrency world, or you don't see it really?
Well, I don't know really. It is probably like in the rest of the world, that there are some people who are involved in crypto, and the more people you know involved in crypto, then you realize that there are a lot of people. But I don't know, like 2 or 3 years ago, I would say I didn't know anyone involved in crypto. But right now, with all the activities, for example, I do, I already know people who are involved in crypto, and I'm getting more and more people. But I can say that, for instance, in the crypto.com Facebook group, there are like 4,500 people, or 4,500 Facebook users. In the Telegram, like 1,400, and in bigger crypto groups, there is a bigger crypto group, like 14,000 people. So
it's
I don't really
growing.
know, but it's growing. Of course, it's growing. So we can see also in the Telegram that besides scammer, lot of people are joining the crypto world, and I think probably it's also in this economic situation that we are living, that people are looking for a safe place to money. But what I would say, like the mainstream media is treating crypto as if it is still something bad,
A scam.
Ponzi, a scam, that you can lose it.
But this is their job, because they work for the fiat monopoly. So they work for the bank's monopoly, the fiat monopoly. So the work of media is to try to paint a picture, that Yeah, I know. Yeah, you have Bitcoin and all these other coins, and
but
you can make some
I
money.
can see that a lot of people are more skeptic with the cryptocurrencies, but also in general financial investments. But this is what we were talking at the beginning of the interview. It's lack of the financial education. Probably it's all in the world. So I don't see Hungary as an exception. So probably we have the same problems and the same issues as other countries regarding the acceptance of cryptocurrencies.
And this is why cryptocom has such an important role, as I said, the mass adoption, right? And to show to people that we are not hiding nothing. We are a company that revolves around cryptocurrencies. We can teach you what it is. We can show you what you can do with it. So yeah, very important for mass adoption. Connecting a little bit what I said before, that if everyone will withdraw everything from centralized exchanges, I think it will hurt the space. But okay, it's a topic for another discussion. But anyway, there is a world famous, as we said before, Bitcoin bar in Budapest. In Budapest. Have you been there? And it's really, you can pay with Bitcoin there or not?
Yes, actually you can. We organized there, or ambassador gathering, actually the community manager Tibor organized there. So we went there with all the ambassadors, and it was really a great experience, because for me it was the first time that I got to know these people that I'm talking online every single day, all day, sometimes even without faces, because they have, I don't know, like a cartoon as a profile picture. So,
an NFT.
But still you could, yeah, but it's in the very central of the city, so it's very accessible. It's a nice bar. Yes, you can pay actually by Bitcoin, but yeah, well, I've never tried that. But okay, they have drinks, so it's a very nice bar. So it is recommendable for crypto fans once they travel to Budapest to look for that bar, because it's next to the Jewish synagogue. So you can just if you anyway visit the city center, because you will, because what else would you do? Then just go to that bar to grab a coffee or a beer or something. So,
and there is also a statue somewhere, I think, right, of Satoshi Nakamoto, or not?
A Satoshi Nakamoto statue. It was inaugurated in September last year, and as far as I know, it was the first statue of Satoshi Nakamoto in the world.
So question 11, this one is important, I would say. What is your short and long-term view of the crypto industry and cryptocurrencies, let's say, in general? I mean, you have a short view, let's say, for this year and next year, and what do you feel about in 10, 20 years about this?
Oh, I thought short view is for today, for tomorrow.
No,
and
short view, I will say,
1 year or 2 years.
Yeah, because we're in a bear market, right? And I will say short view, to me, this bear market will last at least another year, I think. This is my opinion. And then long view, I imagine, in my case, but you will tell me your long view. I imagine 10 years from now.
Well, I don't want to make any assumptions, and I'm not an expert as well, but I can tell you that I really believe in the fundamentum of crypto, in the building blocks, that crypto has strong fundamental, strong basics, and it will grow. It is still growing, and it will grow. And probably the blockchain technology and everything with the metaverse, the NFTs, they will be part of our lives. So definitely, probably they won't be introduced from one day to another, but I see it is more as a dynamic development than, for example, once you will see that you go to a government office and or no, you don't go to the government office, you enter the metaverse of the government office, and then you renew your national identity card. And probably it won't happen from one day to another, but you won't even notice that, because this technology will be so much already in your everyday life that you can notice it. So for long-term goals, I would say that definitely that these cryptocurrencies, the market will definitely grow. There will be a wide range of services Probably there will be also more centralization, and as for the big enterprises and banks will be involved, then maybe we can see some changes that we still cannot imagine. So, and as for the short term, I don't know. I really don't want to make any assumptions. So I believe that that there are more and more people in the crypto because the money is searching its place, right? So
Right.
so you can see that due to this high inflation everywhere in the world.
I wanted to talk about this because in your economic background, what do you think about some cryptos, for example, CRO, that they are not inflationary by design? There is a limited amount that you can put in circulation. What do you think about this comparing to fiat money that they can print?
It is definitely a good thing, because if there is a shortage from something, then it has a higher demand, right? So if you have just one thing from something, then all people would want that specific thing, right? So I think it is definitely a really good thing. And now people are seeing that central banks are issuing money all the time, right? This is how they resolve the crisis what we have, and our money worth less every day, less. So you go to the shop and one day something,
a little bit out of control,
then
a little bit out of how much they are printing, no? So it's out of control.
Exactly, and that's what I'm telling you. That's really like money is looking its place, and I'm saying I'm not an expert, but crypto will definitely gain space in this field, because in Hungary, for instance, the most popular investment is are houses and flats, right? So if you want to but you need a lot of money to this, right? So
yes.
So if you have, I don't know, like 5,000 euros, you cannot buy a house, right? So and if you don't want your money to inflate totally, then you have to search for an option. And I think more and more people see that that there should be something or somewhere to put their money. So
they can see that with a smaller amount they can still get they are learning they can still get
yes.
again. It's not only buying a house, trying to rent it or trying to sell it for another price in the future. You can also do stuff with less amount of money. And
yes, and you can have your passive income, and it is really up to you. So it's not a Ponzi scheme, or what people are saying, that you put that amount of money and or you have to sell, I don't know, like detergent.
But you know, they say Bitcoin.
Ladies.
They say Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme, right? But fiat in a way is a Ponzi scheme. They're printing all the money they want. So I mean, and then what I think is difficult to, you know, the vast majority of people don't understand what is an asset that is, you know, in a way unlimited, and an asset that is limited. So
yeah, but they feel like, for example, if you go to the shop today,
they see the prices.
I don't know, bread is, if I say in Hungarian forints, I don't know, 1 kilogram of bread is 500 forints, right? And they go to the shop in 2 weeks and it's gonna cost 600 forints, right? So it means that 100 forint less. That's what everyone can feel.
You can see there, there in Hungary, you can see this inflation, like you are saying, like
sure, it's of course it's high inflation, and we are and the forint is I mean, it's I rather not talk about it, but still, the inflation is high. The inflation is high, but probably it's the whole world is affected. But like small economics, more fragile economies, more depending economics, like Hungary, they are more affected in this. Everyday people see that, like that their money worth less.
I would tell you something. The country I come from, Argentina, has today, if you go to Argentina tomorrow on Monday, Argentina has more than 50% of inflation. 50%, which is for a country that gets loans all the time from the Monetary International Fund, they are giving money all the time to save it, is a very high inflation. You know? You have countries in Africa with much more inflation.
Yeah.
But I know exactly what it is. I live with that half of my life. So and now we are seeing
this is the same in Hungary. Okay, it can be that the official data is different, but what you can feel and what you can see with your own eyes in the shops, then it's
prices
a bit higher
are going
than
up.
yeah, the prices are going up, and it's anyone can see that. So
Here
that's
we
what I
can
want to tell you.
we can see it here with fuel. Fuel here now it costs double than last year. So it's a problem. So anyway, going to
the energy dependency, like Hungary is very dependent on the Russian gas, probably you know. So, but I don't want to really get into those details. But there are a lot of factors where people think that they have to find a place for their money, for their investments, for their goods, for their products, and probably crypto will be one of the solutions. Maybe not for everyone, but definitely for more people and for more users that we have now.
It's a very good point. Actually, if you see a country like El Salvador or a country, this country in the middle of Africa, actually these third world countries, the country that they've been in crisis for many years, they are starting to adopt cryptocurrencies because, as you are saying, it's a way of giving value to that money that doesn't have any value or is losing value all the time. So it's very, very interesting. I have here the question number 12. Are you planning in the future that your financial independence from crypto? You believe it can be achieved with crypto?
I think so. Of course, like it's one of a goal, but I'm a very active person, and I'm always looking for something like from some new things. But so I consider that I will always do something. Probably for
you
money.
will always
Okay,
produce.
it sounded
you
bad,
always,
but
no, it's okay.
But I will always like work, maybe for my own, maybe for another company, maybe work in crypto. But yeah, also in my long term goals is maybe working in the like 100% in the field of cryptocurrency somehow. So there's, as I mentioned, then you can do so many things really that everyone has a place in a cryptocurrency. So if you call that financial independence, yes. So I can completely imagine myself bank free in the future.
This
like
is very
not
important.
depending on any bank, just having my wallets, and I don't
Amazing.
know if I go to a bar, like paying with my whatever cryptocurrency.
So you can actually see that you in the future you will be able, let's say, to go and you close your classical bank accounts. Like, I don't need these banks anymore, probably in the future.
Yeah, well, I can see that probably. So we can.
I can see it too for me. I can see it too for me.
Yeah. So of course. So of course, maybe not not, and it can be that it will happen in the near future. So because everything is so fast.
Banks are afraid because of this. Banks are afraid, but they have the monopoly of lending money to buy a house. So this is why I think banks still exist as we know them.
Yeah, but you have still the lending platform. So if you have, for example, enough funds in your lending platform, so if you have really enough money, then you can lend.
You can get a loan
in the lending. You can get a loan in Bitcoin, in Ethereum, whatsoever. So
but
that's why probably why.
What I'm saying is that classical banks in any given country, they have an arrangement with the government to sell land. Basically, because when you buy a house with a mortgage, the house belongs to the bank. So the country gave the permission to the bank to own that land and to sell.
Yeah, I see. Okay, and in this case, yeah, of course. Yeah.
I was talking about this with my audience. I even have videos about this. I think the reason for classical banks to stay is, in the end, will be only this: the arrangement they have with governments to sell land, because, as you said, you can use Revolut. for example, to
You
say
see, for
something.
example, like buying a flat. I think it was a couple of years ago. It was a big news, really, in Hungary, that someone here in the 14th district sold a house for bitcoins. I don't know for how much, but it was actually a big news. And imagine that person who gave the bitcoins. How much would that flat worth now? So crazy.
Imagine if a lot of people starts to do this, so they don't pass through a bank anymore, and not even to ask for a loan of nothing. I go to you and I say, I buy your house here, you have 10 bitcoins.
Exactly. I can totally imagine that, right? That for example, if I don't know, if I had a house to sell, then I would rather ask, hey, is there anyone who wants to buy that house and you can pay with cryptocurrency? You see, so I can totally see that in the future, and as the common community is also growing, so probably we will have more place for trading, for transactions, for whatsoever, or for instance, I don't know, if you are a hairdresser, and then you can say, okay, I accept cryptocurrency. I can see that also totally in the future, that there will be hairdressers who accept cryptocurrency, and then
or you can see with
crypto.com,
or with what crypto.com is trying to do with CryptoPay, is to grow it to a point.
Exactly.
Now they use Shopify, so a lot of virtual business, digital business can pay. So I think payments will be key. Will be key to also to the crypto world and the mass adoption. So I have a last question, and I think I know your answer, but we will see.
Maybe I can surprise you.
Yeah, maybe it. There's this in crypto. There's a lot of like a binary of no. I'm a hodler for life. I only hold. And there's people that say no, I will sell. If I see a gain, I sell and I take the gain, and maybe then if I'm lucky, I can rebuy a little cheaper. I don't know what the market will do. So what's your mentality regarding this? Are you hodler, or you are more into the fact of no, if I can take a gain, I take it?
Well, I would say that I'm not married to any crypto, to hold it for life. But really, this is something that at the beginning, I also could see that at every YouTubers, and I thought that it was the standard, that if you buy a crypto, then you will hold it, I don't know,
until the grave, until
the grave, exactly. But then, of course, like seeing this whole volatility, why not to try this out? And I think, for example, I made so many mistakes, like not taking profits, like right, like in the situation what we live now, that our portfolio is a little bit down, and
for me it's a little bit too much down.
Yeah, a little bit too much. I didn't want to put so negative tone, but still, it's like that. I think it's very important really to take profit, that if you can see that you have to have your goals in your life, that okay, I want to buy this thing, or I want to invest that thing, or I don't know, for whatever you need the money, right? Or that you have to materialize that money.
Of
because
course,
until these are just algorithm, right? So this is nothing else. But for example, if you buy really something, if you buy a car, then you can see, okay, this car is bought by by the Ethereum profit I
exactly
made,
you see
right?
the materialization, as you said.
And that's why I'm telling you, that's what everyone is doing crypto, right? Like that and at the end of the day you have to see some materialization on that. And that's why I'm telling you, like, I don't know, somehow in the middle, like hodl or sell. Like, for example, if I'm making savings in crypto as well, right? But probably these will be a hodl strategy. So I don't know, like hold Bitcoin for 20 years, 30 years, I don't know, till I retire.
I found for myself, I found common ground because in the case of CRO of Crypto.com, I knew from the beginning how much I wanted to have. So I bought all last year. I did DCA buying, and now I have the amount. Now, and I didn't sold at the all-time high, and nobody knew it was the all-time high anyway, but I could have made a lot of money. But anyway, what I'm doing, once I go to the goal of the amount I have, I'm selling all the rewards because I'm materializing at least the rewards, but I don't touch the principal. What I managed, the amount I wanted to have, it's locked, it's there, and Crypto.com will decide if it will worth more in the future or not. But I'm selling, and my audience knows this. I'm selling every day my rewards, and I'm getting back slowly what I put in.
Yeah, but it's a good thing that you take something out, and
this is my approach. You know, like a common ground. I don't think extremes are good to, as you said, hold to the grave.
Are never good. No.
Or being selling and buying and selling because you're trying to time the market. That is also, at least for me, it never worked. Huh?
It's just too much. I don't know. For me, it would be too much stress, and I don't know. It's like I wouldn't do that. But still, I think we are very different people. Everyone has its own style or strategy. Maybe someone is only into NFTs, someone is only just in metaverse things. So it's like really you have to find your own interest or your own style.
Okay. So we are right at the end. Is anything else you want to say to us? You would like to say, or?
Just thank you for inviting me, and I hope I could contribute a little bit to discussions, or and I hope there was something in the interview, at least one sentence that you can take away.
Yeah, of course.
And your audience can take away for the future.
I want to thank you also.
Like don't marry crypto or something.
I want to thank you also for your time, of course, and the next time we will try to do something in Spanish, because if not, my audience will kill me.
Of course. And of course. I'm available, so I would love to do also an interview in Spanish, so it's not a problem.
So for the people watching, don't worry, we will try to make an interview also in Spanish. Don't be mad. And thank you again very, very much. And having this view from trust me, from a woman in crypto, it was needed and it's important. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the invite. Thank you.
Okay, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.